Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop again today. This time with 9 new comics. 6 were on my pull list, and I pulled 3 off the shelf. Pretty big off the shelf. But one was on my pull list in volume 1. But first, I want to remind you I've got a Patreon going on. If you want to support my artwork and see more of it, you can go over there. I made for $6, you can get my digital magazine of my art, 68-page magazine of my art where I talk about stuff. Or you can go on the free page. There's a free part of Patreon where you can just look at stuff. But I'll have that down below in a link, or you can go to jaredosborne.com and click on the link there. I got links on all my links on jaredosborne.com. If you ever want to see what I have to offer the world, go to jaredosborne.com. But Patreon. Comic shop news. That's the cover to the last issue of Bloom, which of course is homaging that John Romita SpiderMan Medusa cover. I've been buying this series, Bloom. Indie Comics tale blooms into much more. I've been enjoying the series, Bloom. It's been good stuff, so I look forward to getting that cover on the last issue of it. So I'll read what else the Comic Shop News has to offer. There's always more stuff on Marvel and DC. Everything else they got. Let me show you my museum comics for the week. The 2 covers I've had on the top of my printer all week. Spider-Man was at 158. And Scorpio Rose, number 2. It's funny, you always see Scorpio Rose number 1 cover out there, but I hardly ever see number 2. There's only 2 issues of it. Marshall Rogers, Eclipse comic from the 80s. I forget what year. Does it have a signature in the 83, it looks like. So, Marshall Rogers, 1983. This was a fun comic. Like I said, Dr. Orient is in there, too. I don't remember Dr. Orient. Matter of fact, I haven't read these in a long decades. So I wanted to pull this out and read the first. It's kind of like, I think it was kind of like a Madame Xanadu, Doctor Strange thing, Scorpio Rose. She was some kind of magician. And, of course, are choking covers a thing? Is that some kind of bondage, choking covers? Because Doc Ock's giving Spider-Man the old 2-handed choke as the ghost of Hammerhead is threatening Aunt May. How's that for a story? This was one of the first Spider-Man. The very first Spider-Man I remember buying off the stands was 157, the issue that came before this. But I don't think I started buying Spider-Man regularly till a few issues later. I remember it was the second part of the Stegron Lizard story was when I started buying it every month. And this came in between. I probably got it at some time around then. But one of my first Spider-Man... Oh, there's a lot of spine roll on that one, too, I just noticed. Look at that. You can almost see what's going on the back. You can see what's going on in the back right there. But Earl, I've had this one since the late 70s. Good stuff. All right, let's see what comics I got. Silver Coin, number 6. This is the one that was going to be a mini-series, but now it's continuing. It's written by Joshua Williamson, this issue, drawn by Michael Walsh, and everything by Michael. And this is Michael Walsh's comic. He gets a different writer each month to write him sort of a horror anthology story about this silver coin. So each one is kind of different. Each one is a crazy horror story. It's just this silver coin kind of ties it all together in a very vague way. The silver coin really isn't high concept, except it's an evil coin. Then we got Radiant Black. What issue is this? Issue 9. This one's been good. Oh, that looks like his buddy who died, or is in the first Radiant Black. Who started out this series got hurt and he was in a coma and maybe dying, and his friend took over the Radiant Black suit. Now he's been with these other different color Radiants as they try to figure out what's going on. Sort of Greatest American Hero style, as this strange alien is threatening to destroy all of Earth. A lot of talking and explaining going on in this issue, so maybe we'll find out some more stuff. Oh, look, some quick black and white panels. But I've been enjoying this solid superhero series. I haven't seen an issue of this in a while. James Stokoe, Orphan, and the 5 Beasts. Issue number 3. And the story hasn't impressed me in this, but the artwork has. I'm enjoying James Stokoe's artwork and storytelling. The story is basic in that there's this orphan, and she's got to hunt down the 5 beasts. Has something to do with her karate school and her master, and these 5 beasts are, men who used to be the students of her master and are kind of, bad guys now. So she's out to hunt down all the bad guys. Nothing complex in the plot, and it's all about the fights between the orphan and the 5 beasts. So fun stuff. So I don't think an issue's been out in a few months. The Me You Love in the Dark. This is Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. And I've been enjoying this one. I keep expecting it to turn dark, but it hasn't really turned dark yet. It's about this young, she's in her mid-20s, I think, successful artist who moved into this haunted house to help inspire her work. And it turns out the house really is haunted. Haunted by what? We're not sure. An alien? A dead thing? We don't know. But so far she's kind of made friends with it. And like I said, I keep expecting it to turn dark, but it hasn't. It's really been about her friendship with this ghost. So we'll see if it turns dark this issue. Issue 4. I just don't know. And here's one I threw on my pull list just because I liked, Carmen so much. He did this, I think a while ago. This is Gilliam March, Laura, and Other Stories. That was a European graphic album. It looks like he formatted Carmen for both the U.S. and the European graphic album market. You can see this one wasn't. This is formatted and he did it just by adding bleed up the top mostly. He just added if you look at Carmen, he added extra artwork up top as he was making it, so we wouldn't have this excess amount of white space on the top of the American version. I thought that was very clever of him. But this one was obviously done before such considerations, so but at least he's pushing it out. If you notice here, it goes about a 1/4 inch to the it stops at a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the paper. That's kind of the new guides for comics. It used to stop 1/2 inch away from the paper, which makes the comic even smaller on the page. So if you look at, especially the stuff that's Maria Lovett, the people who are publishing her stuff are using the old copy lines, and if you notice, the artwork in her is 1/4 inch smaller all around. I much prefer them to get with the modern printing. But people, I just found out about that this year, that the printers now say you can go because I hadn't done comics with a big print shop in a while, so they now say you can go a 1/4 inch. So I had to change all my templates to that. So, but not everybody has yet. You can see he has, but those Maria Lovett ones haven't. Then what do we have? Gun Honey #1, which of course it was that Adam Hughes cover that caught my eye. I think issue 2 of this is out already, but I got this for that Adam Hughes. This is the second week in a row I bought a comic just for its cover. I bought that, what was the name of it? That Something is Killing the Children new thing I bought last week just for its cover. That was a shiny, and I bought this one just for that, Adam Hughes bikini bottom cover. So I was like, you know what? And I've heard Gun Honey #1 is pretty good. I think Sleepy Reader buys this one, but I got it for that Adam Hughes cover. That Adam Hughes cover caught my eye when it first came out. I didn't see it in my shop. I don't know why they just got these in. Maybe this is a second printing. Let's see. This is a third printing. 113. If you look here, it says where is it? 113 in the UPC means it's a third printing. That little 3 at the end. I wonder if it says so in the indicia too. So it's, like I said, just for the cover. It doesn't say so in the indicia. But that one, so they must have just got this in third printing because all the other ones sold out. So I picked that up. Then we've got Chip Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips doing New Burn. I know nothing about this. It was just their names that showed it to me. I've sold it to me. I read the first one Phillips did, that Texas Blood, I think it was. I only read the first 2 issues of it and thought it was okay, but didn't get it. But I liked his art. He's the son of Sean Phillips, who does all that stuff with Brubaker, Fatale, and all of a sudden I can't remember it all. The Reckless graphic novels that have been coming out. So I was like, you know what? I'll give this a first issue. Why not? I only had 6 comics this week. I may as well go to 9. And then I picked up Magic Order number 2, number 1. I actually bought the first series of this and liked it, so that's why I knew it was coming out, but I really kind of wasn't looking that closely at when it was coming out. I was like, if they have it on the shelf, I'll pick it up. I had 1 copy of it, so I'm lucky that I was there early and they only had 1 copy today, so I was lucky to be able to pick it up. But this is being turned, I think, into a Magic Order. It's already well underway as a Netflix series. So, and I remember reading I always call Mark Miller the master of the expected, because his stuff really doesn't have twists in it. I mean, he kind of telegraphs his moves, but when he does them well, and I don't mind that he telegraphs his moves. And I remember I can't remember what it was, but I remember at the end of the Magic Order there was a big twist, and I was like, "Whoa, a twist in a Mark Miller comic? How crazy!" But it's Stuart Immonen is drawing it too, so it's got good art, of course. So, which you really can't tell on this dark page. So I'm looking forward to Magic Order number. I'll probably just put this on my pull list now that I know it's out. Let me show you a little bit of artwork. I've been working so much on my Patreon and trying to figure out NFTs that I haven't done a lot of physical artwork, but I did color this. This is Dreams of Things number 122. I like the way this one came out. I like that kind of face/mask to begin with the giant eye. But I like the way the color on this came out. Sort of the green and then neutral backgrounds and all the bright hot orange up front with a little purple. I was just happy with this one. I can speak English, don't you worry. I was happier with this one than I have been with the last few. Not that I really disliked the last few, but I wasn't as happy with them as I was with that. That one really made my day. Oh, and that's the painting I used as the cover for Art at the Edge of the Dream World on my Patreon. So we'll leave you with that. Check out the link down below for my Patreon and all my links at jaredosborne.com. And you guys have a good week out there.